Yes. Yes, ma'am. We are ready to go live. You can start, ma'am. Unmute yourself and you can start, ma'am. Unmute, ma'am. Unmute, unmute.
Good morning to one and all. Making an impactful presence of the healthcare scenario of Mangalore.
Excuse me,
Mangala,
ma'am.
yes,
Ma'am, 1 second. Ma'am, any device in that one also Zoom is logged in. Please off that one. You have to log out from that device because two devices are there. If anybody nearby you. Yes, ma'am.
good morning one and all. Making an impactful presence of the healthcare scenario of Mangalore. Mangala Charitable Trust is the advanced hospital of coastal Karnataka established in the year 1988 by Dr. Ganapati P as Mangala Nursing Home. In the year 1998, Mangala Kidney Foundation came into existence. Later in the year 2000, Mangala Charitable Trust and Hemodialysis Department was established. During his service to provide best health care in Mangalore, in the year 2006, Mangala School of Nursing, and in the year 2012, New Mangala College of Nursing was established under the banner of Mangala Charitable Trust. It runs general nursing and midwifery course as well as basic BSc nursing courses affiliated to Rajiv Gandhi of Health Sciences Bangalore with all the necessary affiliations. I invite Mrs. Fatima Violet, Vice Principal of New Mangala College of Nursing and Mangala School of Nursing, to give an welcome address.
A warm good morning to all. Today is the day we begin to learn to look through the eyes of others, to find out and experience what the world is like for them. It is also the day we go bigger than our differences and offer to everyone, regardless of historical rights and wrongs, a friendly welcome and unstretched hand. My desire is to extend a gracious and inclusive welcome to our beloved Chairman, Dr. Ganapati P, and Vice Chairman, Dr. Anitaji Bhatt. Their support and guidance to conduct this webinar is remarkable. I am delighted to welcome our Dean, Professor Pratijna Suhasini, Principal, College of Paramedical Sciences, Professor Mali Elizabeth Pinto, Principal, New Mangala College of Nursing and Mangala School of Nursing. They are guiding light to conduct this webinar. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to today's resource person, Dr. Sojan Anthony, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychiatry Social Work, NIMHANS, Bengaluru. Sir, your presence makes us very happy. A warm welcome to you. I would like to welcome Organizing Secretary, all teaching and non-teaching staff to this program. And their dedicated work helped her to come to this point to celebrate this. Many of you have made a huge effort to join us today. On behalf of entire Mangala family, we are deeply appreciate and offer our most graceful welcome to all delegates. This day is yours. Try to upload a load of knowledge and share with others. Welcome one and all. Thank you. I'll request our Dean, Professor Pratijna Suhasini, to deliver the inaugural note in the absence of Dr. Ganapati P.
Good morning, dear all. Hope all of you are doing good. Myself, Pratigna Suhasini, Dean, Mangala Group of Educational Institutions, here to wish all the faculties, resource persons, and delegates on behalf of our beloved chairman, Dr. Ganapati. COVID 19 will reshape our world. We don't yet know when the crisis will end, but we can be sure that by the time it does, our world will look very different. This pandemic has taught us we have to update ourselves by continuous learning. Also, teachers have set an example by showing no pandemic can stop the process of learning. We all have updated ourselves with digital platform. As part of e-learning, an international webinar series on pandemic informatics and Intendance is organized by New Mangala College of Nursing, Mangalore. First of all, I want to congratulate faculties for the initiation and also best wishes to resource persons and delegates. Hope all of you have fruitful sessions with take home messages. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much.
ഇല്ല മ്യൂട്ടായി പോവാണല്ലോ.
Today, today, Dr. Sojan Antony will be dealing with the self-care matters, stress management techniques for self-care. Next, Dr. Mohammad Ashil will be dealing with epidemiological aspects in COVID-19. On the third day, all about COVID testing, COVID-19 testing, sample collection, transport, and testing will be dealt by Dr. Suchitra Shanai M. And on the fourth day, we have got two speakers, COVID-19, deinstitutionalized nursing care, possibility and challenges, which has been dealt by Ms. Danielle Didier, and intensive care in COVID-19, which will be dealt by Dr. Ganapati B. Now, let us move on to the first day's session. A very good morning to one and all. Today, we have with us a young, energetic personality, that is Dr. Sojan Antony, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychiatric Social Work, NIMANS, Bangalore. He completed his MSW Medical and Psychiatric specialization from Sri Devi College, Mangalore University in 2005 and worked in STM College, Ujre as lecturer from 2005 to 2006. He completed his MPhil in Psychiatric Social Work at NIMANS with the first rank. Thereafter, he completed his PhD in 2012 in Psychiatric Social Work from NIMANS. He worked as a manager of medical social work at Yanji Muzumdar Shaw Medical Center from 2011 to 2014. He was the leader for the project titled Service Excellence and project titled Gateway at unit level as part of promoting the business of NH Muzumdar Shaw Medical Center. He conducted more than 80 qualitative research studies for enhancing the service excellence in Narayana Hridayalaya, Bangalore. He was an assistant professor of social work at Christ deemed to be University, Bangalore for 2 years prior to joining NIMANS in 2006. He has been invited to leading industries such as Infosys, Tata Consultancy Service, Schindler Electricals, and schools as a resource person to train their employees on stress management. He has been associated with Regional Resource and Training Center, South Zone 2 of National Institute of Social Defense as a trainer to counselors of de-addiction centers, which is spread across Kerala and Karnataka. Major positions which were held by him are, he was a member of editorial board of Indian Journal of Psychiatric Social Work, Joint Secretary, Indian Society of Professional Social Work, member of expert committee for state level resource center for senior citizens Karnataka, member of expert committee for NALSA senior citizens program in Karnataka, member of advisory council International Holistic Guidance and Research Center Sharjah, UAE. He published more than 17 articles in peer-reviewed journals and books. He has completed 2 projects funded by National Institute of Social Defense. At present, he is guiding 3 PhD scholars and he is also a co-guide for 4 research scholars. He is also a co-guide for MD, DM, and MSc Nursing research scholars. His areas of research and training are promotion of adult mental health and wellness of senior citizens, Sir, your vast experience is really amazing. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Sojan Antony. Over to you. Dear participants, any queries, kindly drop into chat box and your queries will be answered after the session. Sir,
Thank you, ma'am, for that warm introduction. I'll share my slides and then I will start. Ma'am, is side is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes. Pretty good.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So, may I thank New Mangala College of Nursing, Mangalore, for inviting me for this international webinar series to speak on self-care matters. I have a special connection with the Mangala Hospital. When I was a student at Sri Devi College in Mangalore, as an MSW student, I was affected by malaria. So I did not have any clue where to take treatment. I think Mr. Ajit, who is also faculty member in your college and my dear friend, he and his friends advised me to take treatment from Mangala Hospital. Now I wonder how Ajit is also is continuing with you as a faculty member. I still remember the care offered by the present director, Dr. Ganapati, and his team of doctors and nurses there. Still, I remember those memories. Which was so warm and caring. There, the approach for helping me when I was severely affected by malaria. Thank you. I thank you, the entire hospital management, for starting a new college. Now we can't call new college, New Mangala College of Nursing in 2006. Also, I thank the dean who has inaugurated this session, and the respected principal who has invited me, and my dear friend Mr. Ajit, who is a faculty member who introduced me to this management. So, my dear friends, welcome once again. Welcome to this small session on self-care matters. As you know that NIMHANS is a National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience. It's a premier institute in the field of mental health in Asia. Basically, we work for treating persons who are affected mental illness as well as the neurological and neurosurgical issues. Of late, last one decade, since India is being affected by many disasters like flood, earthquake, or this kind of spread of pandemic, Immense is also venturing into kind of offering psychosocial care for persons who are affected by kind of both man-made as well as the natural calamities. So this pandemic also can be considered as one of the natural calamity where no infection is spreading beyond our control. In this context, Immense is a nodal center for the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to offer the various psychosocial support for both the people who are affected as well as the people who serve them, like people who are involved in caring those people who are affected. I my great salute to all of you, because all of us are working in healthcare 24 into 7 without taking care of our personal things. We take care of our patients and their families and various stakeholders involved in the healthcare. So today's session, I just thought to cover the self-care, how or why we should be very judicious in caring ourselves. As you know that our mind, our knowledge, our mind, our attitude involves in our job. So that's the reason always we speak about professional self. All healthcare professionals know always we are conscious, or in while training itself we are sensitized the importance of how to care us, how to ensure our well-being. And while presenting this presentation, all of you can raise your questions through chat option. I hope that I need around 40 minutes or 45 minutes to complete this presentation. After that, of course, we can have another 15 to 20 minutes or half an hour question answer, where you can raise questions using chat option. Probably the people who manage this webinar, if they have option to unmute few participants, that also can be tried. So thanking, yeah, let me start my presentation. So let me ask a questions to all participants. What do you mean by self? Self means what? So very difficult to define, right? Very difficult to tell. Some friends ask, so you mean what was the topic for today's webinar? You say that it's a self-care. Self means what? Sometimes self has a positive sense. Sometimes self has a negative sense. Like for example, positive self, always people will advise us, no, you need to have a strong self to face crisis, to face the problems in life. The same way, sometimes people will ask, how can you be so selfish? How can you be so self-centered? Correct, no? All of us have faced this kind of questions in our life. But as we know that, to be effective in a career, in a profession, in family life, in relationship, we need a self. So let me go through. I think by this time you can take 1 or 2 seconds to think about self, right? What we really mean about self. And you might have heard many concepts from your childhood: self-esteem, self-awareness, and other similar terms, right? If I ask you, probably if you had a face-to-face kind of sessions, you will say that definitely self means our mind. Okay, how is my mind? It's okay. For me, that is myself. And some other people, if I ask, they'll say that no, that is not only mind, my body also. If my body is not well, my mind is also not well. In vice versa, my mind is not well, my body also will not be well. Some people say that in India we cannot say like that, because we belong to a different cultural subset, where our self is defined by our relationship also. For example, if you ask me to introduce, while I was studying at 10th standard, if you ask somebody, tell me about yourself, I'll say that I'm a son of Mr. Anthony, and since I'm from a community where will have a house name, we'll say my house name is this, and I belong to that particular village. And then like that, we don't introduce our merits. Before introduce our merits, we introduce our background, like who we are, uh, our relationship with others. So anytime when we, or some people know, now if I ask one of your faculty to introduce themselves, they'll say that I am a faculty, a member in New Mangala College, and I am married, I have 2 children, like that. So when we ask to introduce oneself, definitely people in India, we do not follow individual culture. We also will introduce our background, right? So who we are, where. So some of the students, if I ask, they will say that I am so and so, coming from Meghalaya and settled in Mangalore for studies, or I am from Kerala, I am here for studies, or I am from Udupi and I like Ekshagana, I love to speak Tulu, like that. So our identity is also defined by our cultural, social background and our relationship. And some people say that myself, the moment I think about myself, I think about our happiness. See, even I could not use my happiness while preparing these slides, today morning, uh, because I also belong to a culture. Instead of saying my happiness, naturally I tend to use our happiness. Correct, right? So that's the nature of Indian culture. And when we further analyze from psychological and behavioral theories point of view, when if we want to know about ourselves, we need to think about our thoughts, how we think and how we feel and how do we behave. All these things are kind of various elements which we use to define the self. So take a minute. What are the thoughts going on in your mind now? My God, what is this person is going to tell? Is he going to tell about mental illness, or is he going to tell about various techniques to handle? So your thoughts will be flashing, like various thoughts will be flashing in your mind, and feelings definitely. Now you, some of you may be curious, some of you will be anxious, some of you may be worried about your parents now, what they may be doing at home now. Some of you may be worried about your examinations, which either it is over or it to happen. So the various kinds of feelings, at any time will be happening. So it's a part of ourself and behavior. If you see now, if you can go to your entire participants view, some people are showing their faces, some people are hiding their faces, some people are showing their photos only. Like no, behavior also different. It is different, it is unique. Every individual has their own unique behavior, and they have their own feelings, thoughts. So suppose if you ask somebody to tell about yourself, 1 minute they will take and they will go through their memories, thoughts, feelings, behavior. So we need to just know that all these things are part of ourself. So the moment you want to care, you need to care your thoughts, you need to care your feelings, your memories, and you need to care even your behavior. All right, I'll proceed. If any technical problem happens, if it is not audible and all, definitely please inform your coordinators so they can unmute themselves and can inform me. Next things when we think about ourself is our habits. Correct, no? I remember when we were, Ajit and me, when we were together in Sri Devi College hostel. It's a Kodial bag, I think. Yeah, after the Manipal center, of convention, there is a small Ford shop was there. Above that, only our hostel was there. I still remember habits. Habits define the self. I remember some of our friends used to drink alcohol. Some of them used to smoke alcohol, tobacco products. Some of them used to sleep a lot. Some of them used to eat a lot of food. Some of them very, very lazy. Some of our friends I remember still, if you I introduce about them, they will be always, going for shopping to Hambangata and other places. So see, so if you ask me to remember about different people, tell about their self, I'll be telling about their habits more. Correct, right? So yes, of course, habits also matter to define ourselves, and when we plan our how to care ourselves also, we need to tune our habits. And so we will get back to that point, how to think about those kind of things. And another major element for today's webinar, how we evaluate ourselves. It matters a lot, my dear friends. There are many people, they become successful in their life, or they fail in life, or they build relationship, they lose relationship, or they get job, they don't get job. It all because of their evaluation of self. I can tell you an examples. Some people underestimate their abilities. Some people overestimate their abilities. Some people don't bother about their self. So all these three things are dangerous. Underestimating, though you have good skills, though you have good capabilities, though you have lot of good contacts, opportunities, you don't consider that. Just one example I can tell you. Many of you are from nursing and similar kind of health related medical courses. How much knowledge you have gained about human body and how does it function, when we are affected by illness, when we are safe. You have huge amount of knowledge. Am I correct? It's correct. But sometimes we don't value our knowledge. We think that after all, I'm studying this course, that course. No, we need to value, almost like a kind of any other medical professional. You are equally good, or you are having equally possessing information. Sometimes you will be having better practical knowledge than other medical practitioners. But do we really appreciate our that strengths, about our practical sense, our administration skills, our creativity? Do we really appreciate? I'm just see now your faculties, no? So I remember while they were organizing this program, they contacted me. They mentioned that yes, we are going to have a webinar. I thought webinar is maybe calling two or three people. No, they went beyond. They put their creativity. So how they have conducted? They contact different people from different backgrounds. See, you have a resource person from civil service background who's going to speak tomorrow. You have a person from Canada, foreign speaker. You have a person from very like Dr. Ganapati kind of person, like kind of well experienced medical practitioners. See their creativity. No, they understood. Yes, they evaluated. Okay, we wanted to do something, but how beautifully we can do it. How can we tap all resources? That's what, see, we when we estimate ourselves, never underestimate us. We have a lot of knowledge, a lot of good attitudes. I've seen sometimes in nursing. I was, as in introduction mentioned, 3 years I was part of Narayana Hridayalaya Medical Institute. You know Narayana Hridayalaya, which is in Bangalore, under the leadership of Dr. Devi Shetty. I've seen the nurses with huge administration skills, very excellent administration skills. And even in NIMHANS, we have renamed nursing staff's title as a nursing officers. No more they will be called as a nursing staff. They each one will be called nursing officer, which is same in all India Institute of Medical Sciences. Everywhere it has been changed. But what I wanted to tell that when we evaluate ourselves, never ever underestimate. You need to always appreciate your own knowledge, skills, background, professional competencies. Why it is important? Because in a way, if I tell about the medical practitioners and medical team members, you are the one who gives life. You are the one who cares life. You are the one who helps people to have a peaceful end of life, life's conditions. See what an amazing job you are doing. That's the reason very all well developed countries, my friends in US and all says, or in Australia and many countries, even in India, they say that it is a well paid job in many of the well developed countries, no, especially nursing and all kind of medical courses, because they know the importance. They know the importance. And healthcare is so costly because they value the knowledge of the health professionals. So when you value, my suggestion today always, whenever you see in yourself in a mirror, or whenever you write anything about yourself, whenever you post a, Facebook or TikTok or Instagram postings, never ever blame yourself. Never ever you feel guilt about yourself. Feel happy. You are part of an amazing wealth of knowledge which you have already possessing, irrespective of your family backgrounds, irrespective of your cultural backgrounds, irrespective of your from whatever difficulties you are facing. You are possessing an amazing wealth of knowledge, or you are already like students acquiring an amazing wealth of knowledge which you need till the end of your life. So this is what just I want to tell about evaluation of self. And uh, and that gives a lot of energy. So I see sometimes in counseling people will come and ask, okay, I'm not happy about my life. No, I get angry. I don't know what is the reason. I'm sad, I'm hopeless, I want to end my life. So I failed in my relationship. That boy or girl left me. So now I don't have any clue. I don't know how will I survive. I invested a lot in a relationship, and finally that person cheated me and went. So I lost everything. I'm nothing. I'm zero. My question is, are we zero? In our progress card, if you remember your progress card, 10, 12 subjects will be there. Nowadays in ICSE, CBSE and all, I have seen that they add dancing, painting, handwriting, coordination skills, leadership skills, and they will be having that criteria also. In your life criteria, let's say that in your life, how to decide whether your life is successful or not. Let's say that in our life we have 10 criteria. Just for an example, first criteria may be how good you are in education. That is the only one criteria out of 10. Okay. Then how good your relationship with your parents, how good your relationship with your teachers, how good you are, in acquiring relationship, knowledge, like self learning, how good you are, how good you are in adjusting with the new environment. Like I remember when I reached Mangalore, food was a major challenge. Like, in our place, we never use coriander leaves. But in Mangalore, in every food which I used to have, I used to have coriander. So I used to struggle with the coriander versus me, coriander leaves versus with me. I used to struggle initially. I'm just adaptation skills. I just want to tell that how to adapt with the new situation. Let's say the 5 skills, and how is our relationship with our life partner or a prospective partner, and how is our planning for future, our finance management, our problem solving skills, our creativity. Like these 10 criteria I'm just putting for you to think. Suppose if you fail in one relationship, still you are a winner, because out of 10 criteria we failed only one criteria, means we had a relationship breaking. For that is only one criteria, but in 9 criteria you are a champion. So that's how we have to evaluate. And in one criteria, because of our adolescent or youth nature, we impulsively try to develop relationship with somebody, and that did not click well, and you lost that relationship. It doesn't mean that you can't create new relationship. I still remember when I was a consultant in Narayana Hridayalaya. Its branch name is NH Masumdar Shah Medical Center, which is in same campus. So I was a psychiatric social worker there. We do psychotherapy, as you know. So one girl came and told that I lost everything because that boy cheated. So I told her, you just look at that side. There's a mango tree with a lot of flowers. She told, yeah, a lot of flowers are there. I told after 2, 3 months, some flowers may become mangoes and some flowers may not become mangoes. After another 3 months, every flowers will, flowers, mangoes, everything will go. Only leaves will be there. And after 1 year or 2 year, again you will see flowers. Life is also like that, especially in initial years when we are in relationship, which is not married, which is not a marital relationship. Definitely this kind of comes and goes will happen, but some people take it so seriously and they try to end their life, or they instead of focusing on their studies, learning, job, they sacrifice entire life for such kind of one criteria. For one criteria's sake, I have seen that people commit suicide. Is it really worth to do such kind of acts for a, when you are struggling to cope only one criteria, where you are successful all 9 criterias? Just for example, I just thought of sharing with you. Remember, evaluation has to be holistic, and there need to have many criteria, not single criteria. For faculty members also, when I want to tell you that, definitely remember that the students know that when we evaluate their holistic development, their academic performance definitely matters. Similar way, their relationship skills, their communication skills, their attitude, their hardworking nature, their self-care nature, how good they are in caring themselves. All those things matters because all small pieces, all small bricks, many bricks are required to to make a building or a wall. With a single brick, we cannot make any big wall or a house. We need many bricks. Same way in our life, we need different kind of skills. All of us are unique. Some of us may be good in some aspects, some of us may not be good in some aspect. It doesn't matter. Finally, aggregate, if you have a good score, definitely you will be passing with colors your life. Okay, so let me continue. So that's what I was telling about in self-care, self-awareness. Now it's a pandemic time, correct? No, so we know that there's no point in keep thinking about negative things. We know that we already are medically educated people. Okay, the knowledge will help us. One part of your self-awareness, you got training how to handle yourself safely, so you got certain skills. That's another part of thing. And you also know that how to handle certain kind of negative emotions and issues in the family. Like that, when we have self awareness, we will be aware about the challenges what we are facing and what kind of resources we have to cope up with that. My dear friends, when we have resources, it is easy to cross the challenges. Correct, right? Resources is not only money. Since I am from social work background, what we call social capital. If you have good relations, if you have good friends, if you have good teachers who guide, if you have good knowledge about certain things, all those things are resources. Of course, if you have savings money, that also matters. So self-awareness, please underestimate. If one criteria, if you are not good, doesn't mean that you don't have anything. So that's the message I just want to tell. Now let us focus few aspects about how to care, how to care about ourselves. Like a plant, like if you have a plant in your home, how much care you offer, correct, right? I have few plants in my home. Every day I will go and check, whether new any leaves are coming, any new saplings are coming, any new flowers are many new buds are coming, flower buds are coming. So every day we will look. And if any small creatures come and attack that plant, then we wanted to kill it and give proper water, things kind of. See, for a small plant, how much care we give. If you have puppy at your home also, how much care you give. Imagine, it is very important to give ourselves also. You need to care yourself, so you need to nurture yourself. So we are going to discuss few strategies how you can nurture yourself. First, definitely you need to know about your likes and dislike, what you like, what you don't like. It's okay. We are all human beings. We certain things we like, certain things we do not like. So it is, of course, it's nice to know all those kind of things rather being very vague about our likes and dislike. We will be struggling. See, for example, if I don't like
Sorry for the interruption. We have got some technical problem. We'll be resuming shortly. We are very sorry for it.
சரி சரி ஓகே.
Sir, sir, Anthony, I have made you as a co-host, sir. You can share the screen.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Just
Yes.
I take
Yeah.
it. Yeah, 1 minute. Okay. I'm sorry, there is a small kind of problem, which is um, which is actually that's what happens, no, when computer ask you to update. If you ignore it, sometimes we'll get into the trouble. So that's what happened here. 1 second, I'll just minimize. Is it audible, madam, now?
Yes. 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 Pretty good.
Okay, thank you. So 1 second, I'll just you all can have a break, like our class break. Yeah. Yes. We'll continue. Audible now, ma'am? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we were discussing about our likes and dislikes, and we need to know, and we also can express with others. Because why I'm telling likes and dislike, I've seen somebody who have married. Okay, so the husband likes non-vegetarian food, wife likes vegetarian food. So both of them were doctors. They got married. 1 year life was okay. Second year, husband wanted to bring his parents also to their house in Bangalore. They both are practicing doctors in Bangalore. So there was a severe fight, and they came for family therapy. So when I checked, no, everything else is fine. Both of them are doing well as in profession, but the wife, the wife was threatening like divorce, and the husband was facing issue, like, was very, had a lot of guilt, like, he was telling, see, I married, I thought my wife will also take care of my parents. Since both of them are doctors, they could afford also a kind of housemaid who can help them and take care of things. As what's the major deal? So the in the individual session, the wife told, see, sir, I'm a vegetarian person. So I don't want to cook non-vegetarian food in my kitchen. But my husband belongs to a family who likes to have non-vegetarian food, and there was a severe fight. Husband was forcing the person to cook, and the other person was not allowing. And finally, the solution what they have know themselves before coming counseling, they had a solution which they have arrived without consultation is they in fact rented two different house for husband doctor one house, wife doctor another house. In husband doctor's family, parents started to live. Occasionally he will go, or many of the time he goes there, eat non-veg and he eats non-veg and come to this family. Then the wife doctor was not willing to speak with him or be with him and show intimacy and all. The reason is she hates non-vegetarian food, and she doesn't want to interact with people who eat non-vegetarian food. See, so knowing your likes, knowing your dislikes, and expressing those kind of things, it's very important, both in forming relationship, both in having friendship, even in workplace. You can explicitly you can tell your likes and dislikes. Sometimes you need to compromise for getting adjusted with others. But what I want to tell, in large extent, your likes and dislikes and knowing and expressing it matters for caring yourself. Many people will hide their likes and dislikes, thinking that if others come to know about that, what others will think about me. Let them think whatever they want. Ultimately, it is your life. If you want peace of mind, if you want to enjoy your life, you need to tell your likes and dislikes, and that matters. So in self-care, one principle I just wanted to tell. So I told this example here. So one married your college faculty thought of going home and tell her husband, see, I don't like this non-vegetarian food. Okay, today onwards I'm not going to cook. Definitely she will get in problem. So I am not a lot of rigidity in life is also going to create trouble. But it is a large principle. From young age, it is nice to express our likes and dislikes in appropriate forums, and inappropriate, I'm underlining, in appropriate forums, in appropriate our relationship circle, social circle, you need to express. So others also, like how you try to adjust and adapt, similar way other person also will try to adjust and adapt. One more example I can tell from my clinical experience. Many times, we get young couples, who are in relationship or who are married, or little middle-aged couple, and middle-aged in the 30s 40s. They all tell the problem basically. Even if they are married, they never share their likes and dislikes. They behave as if that, okay, she is my partner, he is my partner, he should know my likes and dislikes. My dear friends, without telling, without expressing, without sharing, how do we know the others likes and dislikes? You need to tell, right? In a polite way, you need to tell, right? One family was telling the way he speaks in a loud voice. I don't like. I hate men, who speak in loud voice. I get shivering, and I don't like. I feel insecure. Then in my session, I asked, "Have you shared this information with that person?" No, I did not share. I don't want him to feel bad. So I asked the husband, okay, suppose if you come to know, yeah, if I knew this, I would have adjusted a little bit. So that kind of things. So expressing our likes and dislikes will help us to adjust and adapt with our immediate social circle well. Now, another thing is expectations. Like, many times, in self care, our expectations can help us, and sometimes can create problems, and sometimes it defines our future, sometimes. Yeah, in a simple way. For example, now you are studying, right? Many of your students. So you need to have some expectations in your life. I think many times your teachers might have asked you, what is your goal in your life? Or what do you want to do in your life? Do we really need expectations? Yes, we need expectations. How does it help? That expectations gives a direction in our life. For example, while I was studying in our Sri Devi Institute, and an expectation, something I wanted to do good with this education. So when I get opportunity in KMC Atawar, like KMC Medical College, as a like a internship opportunity, I was very happy, because an opportunity, it matches with my expectations. So I got a lot of support from Dr. Mariella de Souza, who was a clinical supervisor there in the Department of Psychiatry. I happy to express my sincere gratitude to her. So sometimes our expectations will help us to get right opportunities, and right opportunities, right mentors will help us to reach our goals. So we need to have expectations. And do we need to have an unrealistic expectation? Definitely. One thing I just wanted to tell to how to achieve our expectations and goals. Though I am a Christian, I believe what Sri Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita. He says, no, all of us know, don't wait for results. Just do your duties. The results will emerge. Results will emerge naturally. So that's what. So our primary responsibility to succeed in our life, to care ourselves, have a peaceful life, do your duties. So once you do your duties, naturally you will achieve your expectations to an extent. All expectations all of us cannot achieve, that is true, but definitely we need to have little higher expectations, so then we'll be putting little more hard work for achieving that thing. So yes, let me continue. Similar way, for self-care, we need to build our resources. As earlier I mentioned, our resource is not only just money, bank saving alone. Our resource also our relationships, our habits. Like when you are in Mangalore, so you just learns certain habits. You can learn both good habits and bad habits. For example, when you got free time, you started to drink alcohol. You started to smoke tobacco products. You started to use cannabis or drugs. You thought probably, okay, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to enjoy the young life. But uh, gradually, those habits are going to spoil your resources. So the resources, even good habits are resources, relationship is good resources, money of course is resources, knowledge is resources, skill is resources. Now while preparing for this presentation, Ajit sir, your faculty, my friend, has shared two softwares. Like one is Kahoot, to use a online quiz program. I was wondering, though we are at a national institute, we never use such kind of advanced software for our training program. So it's an opportunity for me to build my resource to learn that Kahoot's, quiz, online quiz software, and then update my skills. So that will turn a resource. Every attempt to build our resource will help us to cope in a crisis. That's what I want to tell. So this crisis, I'm very sure that your classes are happening in online. You all are familiar with online no process. So with COVID-19, we are blessed with the online programs. This is my, I think, third kind of international webinar. I'm part of that. Otherwise, very less opportunity. We need to travel, like two of the international conference. Otherwise, we were supposed to travel another country and attend, which we could do here. So every crisis, any pandemic, any disaster also help us to acquire new resources in terms of skills, in terms of opportunity. So that's what just I wanted to share about that, my resources. And recognize your source of stress. It's another 10 minutes we will continue this presentation. This is another major key area for us to handle our stress. So stress management also is part of self-care, right? So how to understand the source of stress? So what are the various sources of stress? You can list it out. You can make a checklist. Okay, my friend's behavior is a problem for me. See, at times, I do not do things on time. That gives stress for me. At times, I shows, when I'm angry, I directly express to my teachers, and then I'm afraid of their reaction. That's stress for me. So like that, we can list it out, the sources of stress, and then we can manage. As you might have already learned in your syllabus, frustrations are a key element which can create a lot of stress in your life. How to reduce frustrations? One way to reduce frustration is decrease our expectations. When we have more expectations, you'll be have more stress in your life. In cognitive behavioral approach, they used to tell, when we think everybody must love us, everybody must care us, everybody must give importance for us, does it happen like that? I don't think so. Initially, when I was a child, I used to think, we were three children, I should get equal or little more importance than other my brother or my sister. Can our parents give like that? No, they can't give like that, same attention. Why they can't give same attention? Sometime my brother and my sister, both of them were younger to me, so their needs also will be more than my needs. How? Like a small child, 1 year old child, 2 year old child needs more attention, like in feeding, taking self-care. They need more attention. They need little more pampering, because definitely then they feel good, and to nurture their young self, then parents have to give more care. So many times, when we compare and when we expect, a lot from others, our frustrations will increase. Similar way it takes in any things. Examinations, some kids are the huge expectations from the exams. So many times you need to reframe the meaning of examination. Otherwise, unnecessarily, you will get into the trouble. How can we reframe the meaning of examination? One thing which we used to do as part of reducing academic stress, you should tell people, see, examination is meant for what? It is not meant for you as students. It is more meant for teachers. True, right? So for teachers, they teach a syllabus. They want to know how much their students have understood. If students have not understood well, they have to change the teaching strategies. So ultimately, examination is conducted to evaluate the teaching strategy, than not evaluating our knowledge. Because in a 2 year 2 hours examination, we cannot actually we cannot actually express entire our knowledge. So it is not feasible to kind of express every knowledge in a 2 hours examination. So some of us, if we score very less, you will not be take entire blame on you. So it includes, yes, definitely your efforts, then teaching strategies, and then your background from where you are coming. Because if you have not received proper training in your schooling, or in your prior education, then you need bridge courses to get adjusted with the new educational situation. And your aptitude, some of us will join some courses which we don't like, so naturally we don't perform, and then we feel frustrated. What's the point? So that's the reason we are telling that we need to know our expectations to follow our life goals. And so frustration, so handling our expectations, very important to reduce the frustration. One strategy is no not to have kind of unrealistic expectations. Definitely we need to have realistic expectations. Yes, the second thing is conflicts. So many times, conflicts is not fight between two individuals. Definitely, sometimes conflicts in our own mind when we want to take a decision. So we consider options, but we are confused. Which one is the right choice? That can create a stress. Like now, we are all in Bangalore, migrated from another state, and we feel that COVID is spreading, whether to stay here or whether to go back to our native place. So a conflict occurs. So that such kind of conflicts also can can cause kind of thing, can cause a kind of tension. So ensure that you need to learn how to handle conflicts, because conflicts can induce a kind of stress. If you are able to resolve conflicts, conflicts will, you might have studied already in different kind of conflicts. Sometimes, we will be having, when we have career options, or when we have options of relationship, in different settings you can have conflicts, and that can cause the problem. So if you can solve the conflict, definitely you can reduce stress. Another example, like, imagine that a person is in relationship, that other person, like a boy and girl, the boy is giving a lot of torture for the girl, but still girl thinks again and again, whether should I continue this relationship, not married yet, but why should I continue, because a lot of trouble is giving already before the marriage itself. So should I continue or not? But still same time they remember the good moments which they had, some good likes and common likes and things like that. So conflict occurs whether to continue relationship or not. Such kind of trauma also can cause stress. So, and sometimes when you do not have enough time to, we have to do many things. It happens in our institute now. I was getting a phone call, so phone call is coming, so I have to prioritize now. So since I have committed time for you, so I have to prioritize. Okay, I have 5 tasks I'm supposed to do today. So in that which task I should do first? So it can give conflicts, like, how can I select what can be the first task? So such kind of things can create kind of stress for me. So handling conflicts, like, different things I am supposed to do at the same time, it happens. Another example I can tell you. So one of the nursing staff, she was my friend only. So they were working in a hospital. So one patient used to keep on ringing bell, like, she will be, while she's taking care of another patients, this person will ring the calling bell, call the nursing staff. So she will go and do some kind of caring, and address the questions, queries, and any kind of support they will offer. Once they go back to the nursing station, again they will ring, and while she is supposed to take care of other patients also. So she gets upset, and finally she went and asked that patient, why are you ringing so many times? If you ring like this, no, where is the time for me to take care of my other needs? Patient got terribly upset. Patient has written a complaint to the management. See, I had a severe pain, so I contacted your staff. The staff reacted me to like this. See, how can I take care of your every needs? So if your nursing staff cannot take care of patients' needs, what is their duty? How can they speak like so arrogantly? See, in this situation, that poor nursing staff, no person actually was troubled by kind of conflicts, repeated kind of trouble, and was struggling to prioritize which person should be prioritized first. So this kind of things can definitely cause stress in our life. So pressure is another thing. Like, do we need pressure in our life? I had done another YouTube video. So definitely about this concept, pressure is important. See, in exams, we prepare well because of what is the reason? Because we have pressure in, to pass. We want to complete this BSc nursing course within 4 years and finish all the requirements, and then, complete our IELTS course, and then we wanted to go to New Zealand or Canada or Australia, or we wanted to apply a job in Indian Army as a nursing officer. So we have certain things are there. So this kind of things, will be a lot of pressure will be there. But I tell you, my dear friends, too much pressure is not going to help us. Too less pressure also is a problem. Too much pressure is also a problem. So it's like a pressure cooker on the gas stove. You need to regulate your pressure. If how you can regulate, you consider that flame which is coming out of the gas stove, it's like a fire. That flame fire, if you can reduce and increase, the pressure can be controlled in the pressure cooker. If sometimes this pressure cooker has a lot of pressure, like after 3 whistles, 5 whistles, you need to keep it away from stove. Yes, either you reduce or increase your expectations, according to the pressure in the life. If too much pressure, reduce expectation. Too less pressure, increase expectation. Like that, you regulate. Or if it is too much, if you can't handle it, take a break. Take a break is a mantra. Anytime if you feel that you are going to break yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, take a break. Like how we remove a pressure cooker from gas stove to a cool place for reducing the pressure inside. Because too much of pressure, we know that what will happen to food. It will be overcooking, overcooked food, and now it's a spoiled food. So in your life also, if too much pressure, you'll spoil your life. So balance the pressure like a pressure cooker, and then you can enjoy your life. So regarding the self-care, I have a single mantra. If you ask a single mantra, yes, to handle your stress, you need to relax. Relax. Laxity means what? Lose your life. Whenever you are so tight, you need to lose your life. How many times? As much as possible. How much ever you want, you need to relax. Relaxation depends how much ever you want. Individual needs are different. Sometimes some persons want to relax for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Some people need half an hour. Some people need entire one week, weekend, one day. So it depends on the person. But you need to again and again lax. Lax means lose it. Losing is important. Losing our muscles, losing our tight schedule. You please lose it. Too tight schedule, too tight, relationship, too tight, functioning definitely will affects. It affects your mental health. So these three words, single words, three times I'm telling, relax. That gives energy, that gives a refreshed feeling. So that will help us to be creative, more practical. So even in your clinical care, remember you need to relax. Is it a smoking is a good technique of relaxation? My dear, some boys, nursing officers, they relax, they go outside and they drink a little bit of coffee, tea, and they take a small cigarette. Is it a good way to relax? I don't think so. Because here we are not relaxing, again we are tightening. Relax is taking a break, not inducing relaxation using chemicals. That's not the natural way to relax. Okay, you see the animals after their entire heavy, one day they will take food, and they will be going to all the forest area to have their fruits and things like that. After that we can see, roadsides and all, animals take rest, relax. After all, we are also animals, we need rest. So remember to relax. In self-care, another S is sleep matters. Many people after this, digital era, a lot of opportunity to connect with people 24 into 7. World nowadays, it doesn't sleep. Because if your Indian friends are sleeping, you can call your Canadian friends and you can have a chat. And when they are speaking, you can go to Australia and you can have a chat. So world doesn't sleep in during the digital era, but you as a human being, you need sleep. Minimum, for me, I say that minimum 8 hours. Many scientists says that, neuroscientists says that 6 to 8 hours, depends on the individual need, depends on the, if they are fresh after that 6 to 8 hours sleep, depends on the number of hours it is required. Some health condition like sleep apnea, where even if you try to sleep, you do not get sleep. So in such situation, definitely you need to rectify the factors, health factors affecting your sleep, and then you need to have a regular sleep. Anxiety, depression, or any other mental health problems, if it affects your sleep, definitely you need to handle that. Poor sleep affects your concentration, affects your productivity. It reduces your overall effectiveness in workplace. So my dear friends, whatever it is, whether Virat Kohli is going to get century or not, or the what's happening with the new movie story sequence or serial sequence, nighttime crime thrillers, serials, webinars in nighttime. Now I have to tell about webinars also. Whatever it is, once you reach the 10 o'clock, or if you are on duty in night shift, when your day break comes, definitely you need to have a continuous sleep cycle. It's very important. Some people sleeps like 2 hours morning, 2 hours afternoon, 2 hours night. Not an extended period of 6 hours to 6 to 8 hours. It matters a lot. A lot of evidence is that it helps us to relax and rejuvenate our creativity. Food matters. I know friends who are staying in hostel, and if you don't like the food, you skip food, and then you don't eat. You try to sacrifice your breakfast. No, it affects because the proteins and other content in the food is quite important for a carbohydrate. You know that. I need not tell you, food matters. So regular food and water intake is mandatory for handling your stress. And some people get simply irritated in workplace just because of that they miss their breakfast. So better to have food on time. Recreation matters. So here I just want to tell another principle. You can divide your life into 3 8 hours. First 8 hours, 8 hours for what? 8 hours for sleep, another 8 hours for your, let's say that, your self-care, recreation and other things, another 8 hours for your studies, job, practice, or your hospital duties and everything. So if you can divide your life into 3 8 hours, in that, one 8 hour for sleep, 1 8 hour for your work or studies, and another 8 hour for self-care and recreation. 4 hours for self-care, at least not 2 hours for recreation, 2 hours for physical exercise. It makes a big difference in your life. Relationship, already I have in the during the introduction I mentioned, relationship matters. It gives both pleasure and pain, and you need to know how to handle. And some relationship, especially because of the mental health factors, then personality factors, age factors, then their own no stress factors, some of our people in relationship can can support us as well as can create problem for us. So we need to have certain skills to handle those kind of relationships. Communication skills, many times I told that initially, uh, we need to tell things, we need to express things, but same time around 70 to 80 percentage of our communication goes through what, through the non-verbal communication. So though you show obedience to your teachers and the faculty observe that, you are not obeying. You are just saying, yes, ma'am, I will obey. Yes, ma'am, I will do it. But you're not really doing it. So it matters. So communication is not only verbal and it's also non-verbal. So help yourself to tune your communication skills, both verbal and non-verbal communication. So that will help you to build a very healthy relationship in your workplace, in your family life, in your hostel, in your wherever you are. Communication skills will help, and also ensure sometimes we communicate certain things, and what we told something, what the person that person has understood, what we call that meaning, the meaning what you communicate, the meaning what the other person has received. It's important to check whether the person has taken the right meaning. If the person has not taken the right meaning, it's better to again check and re-communicate what you wanted to communicate. In many times families and all, people say that I don't want to continue this relationship. Out of their frustration, out of their anger, they may say that no, no, I don't want to continue this relationship. I am just going to divorce. I'm just going to keep this relationship. If you call them in an individual session, and if you sit and chat with them, actually they did not wanted to tell that, they did not wanted to disconnect relationship. They just wanted to express angry. Instead of telling I am angry with you, the person has communicated something else. That's the reason we need to communicate, learn to communicate both content as well as emotion. That's very important. Otherwise, in this case, no, in this couple's case, they might have should have told openly, see, boss, I'm angry. I need a break. Can you just keep quiet for some time? Can I take a break? No, after that we'll discuss. That's it. So, two, three times the verbal arguments may continue and finally it will settle down. But instead of that, if the person says that, yes, I'm going to discontinue, I don't want to continue this relationship, definitely that's going to have an impact on yourself. So, learn to communicate is very important. Problem solving is another interesting topic for me because that's a part of our life. Problem solving mainly, any problem if you take, a real issue will be there which can be solved, which can be repaired, which can be altered and settle the issue, like how we solve our, if a mobile is not working, we can actually do something and we can repair it. So actual problem, with any problem there will be another thing is an emotion also will be attached. It can be anger, frustration, sadness, hate, jealous, anything. So whenever you try to solve problems, as a mantra I want to tell two things today. One is, realize what exactly is the problem, define the problem, and recognize the emotion which is attached, which is becoming a barrier in understanding that real problem. If you can do both, definitely you'll be able to solve the problem. Sometimes because of anger we won't see the real problem. We'll be shouting, we will be blaming, we'll be gossiping. Like I have an issue with my supervisor rejected my record, and I'm very angry. So in that anger I did not listen whatever feedback my supervisor has given. So what I have to do, first I have to handle my anger, I have to settle down, and then I have to go and discuss with the supervisor. Madam, in that anxiety I could not listen with you, listen your feedback, can you repeat again? I'll change the entire records according to your suggestions. So supervisor also will be very happy with your that ability to handle your emotion and proactively approach and solve the issue. Please try. I have done it. It benefited for me in my career. Please, you also try same thing. Handle emotion, then you try to solve the problems. If it is an emergency, if you are too emotional, take the support of a person who is not affected by that problem. Take their suggestions because they are not emotionally aroused, so they will be able to, their rational brain will work, and they will be able to guide you. So that's also another possibility, especially in bedside. You can't say that, I'll do handling this patient after my emotion settles down. The patient may die also. So you involve somebody else, if you are too anxious, angry, frustrated, and things like that. Early identification of mental illness is also matters. You know that the US statistics says that 1 in 5, means 20 percentage of population of United States at any in their lifetime, at least once they suffer any kind of mental illness. In Indian statistics also comes around 15 to 16 percentage of population at any time of at least once in their lifetime they face some kind of mental health problems. So like anxiety, depression, or any other mental health problems, substance use disorders. Sometimes, without our knowledge, we may be addicted to substances. So we are not in a position to control our alcohol intake, tobacco intake. So then such people also needs some kind of support. Okay, so my final few suggestions: invest on your self care. So it is going to give the, like your parents will be telling, no, the invest on self care. Parents invest on the kind of, right, how to invest money. The same way you can invest on your self care. Well-being and quality of life are two returns of that investment on self-care. I'm going to conclude with the 6 mantras. One is appreciate yourself. Think sometimes, so what? Yeah, that also matters. Think, but don't tell. Like, do teachers ask why you did not complete your assignments? You can't ask so what, but at least sometimes you can think yourself. Yes, it happened in my life. So what? I'm going to rebound and then going to do it. And here and now approach many times it helps to relax. If you are in a Panambur beach, focus on the Panambur beach, that the quality of freshness, and enjoy it here and now is a good approach. And say no. So especially substances, especially bad relationship, when you're supposed to say no, you should say no. Say yes. Opportunities for learning, opportunities for no adapting to the life situations, definitely you need to say yes. Opportunity for skills building. Do not try to control the thoughts. No, when people try to control their own thoughts and struggle a lot, if you feel too difficult, then you need to better to have a consultation with the mental health professionals. They can help. Finally, my message is nurture the thought, I am good like any other person is also good. And yes, all these techniques, I feel that is going to help you. I would hope that in between distraction affected my time management a little bit, but it's fine. We have time. Ajit sir, Ajit sir, do we have some time? 5-10 minutes?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity.
Sir.
I just try to relate a little bit with the nursing practice and other medical career.
Yes.
If you have any questions, ma'am, you can ask.
Sir, thank you very much. I really thank you from the bottom of my left ventricle for enlightening us with the self-care matters. You also told us we nurses have got n number of resources, especially wealth of knowledge. Yes, we have a knowledge, practical as well as theoretical knowledge. Dear participants, please do not underestimate from today onwards of yourself. Your knowledge and theoretical as well as practical knowledge you got is really which can be taken to your to reach your goal. And we should have always positive expectations which will help us to reach our goal. Thank you, sir. Sir, let us move to the question session now. Since
Yes.
we have a larger group,
Yes.
we have taken few questions
Yes,
which
ma'am.
are really relevant. I think you
Yes.
can go on with that.
Yes.
Participants, the first question, shall I move on? And
Yes.
if you have got any more questions, participants, you can still put in the chat box. So the first question by
Yes.
Lipi Mandel.
Yes.
In this COVID-19 pandemic situation, what
Yes.
are the strategies we can advise to people who are in quarantine in management of stress in self-care?
Yes. Shall I start answering, ma'am?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. See, the quarantine, we have a kind of helpline for quarantine people who are in quarantine, and then almost 3 lakhs calls we received in enhance for how to handle the stress till last week. So what we understand is when people are socially disconnected, their stress level increases. And you also know that many of them lost their jobs, or they are not sure about their financial resources in future. So they need some kind of psychosocial support. So what I wish to tell you, yes, of course, government and non-governmental organizations are working, but at the same time, our real source of energy, like our mobile recharging, it's our social network, like our family members, our friends, our colleagues. And we need to help people who are in quarantine also to be connected with their social network. It will help them to recharge and no reinvent or no map their resources, rather planning for suicide. And all suicide risk is very high among people who are in quarantine. So also domestic violence is very high among people who are in quarantine, in home quarantine. So we should not isolate them. We need to give enough digital connectedness for those people to be, feeling that they're adequately supported. Like life, we give support for with the oxygen. Same way, care is a kind of social care is another kind of support for them to feel confident. Thank you, ma'am.
Lipi Mandal, is it all right with you? Now we'll move on to the second question. How to handle financial crisis during pandemics, which is
Yes.
given by Prabhu Shiva Prasad.
It's a real fact. We need to accept the fact that we all are facing financial risk because of salaries are decreased 30 percentage for many employment, and promotions are not given, or people who are selling vegetables on street, they lost job because we are not going to street and purchasing things. Auto rickshaw drivers are not earning, many people are affected. And when the middle class is not earning, definitely the people who are depending on the income of middle class through their purchase or payment for the service, they all will be affected. So my one suggestion is we need to identify people who are severely affected, and then we need to help them to get all kind of social support from the government and the other kind of non-governmental organization. We also need to help them to map their resources and skills, and for getting a new employment. Many people have started to get into new employment. One example I can tell, one of the news was there in somebody was working as a hotel manager. He lost job. He started to sell fish on streets and using a vehicle. So many people are experimenting, but at the same time we need to encourage people to experiment job opportunities based on their skills and aptitude. Simple emotional jump into some jobs, definitely they will further lose their available resources, and their financial resources will drain, and then finally they will feel more stressed. So at this time we all need to extend our hands and support people who are severely affected and help them to get job. Giving money is not a solution for helping people. That's the philosophy of our entire our job profession also. Help them to be skilled and identify the right jobs matching which matches their things. And also people who are into severe financial debt, officially they can declare, because many banks, they give a period of relaxation for repaying their things. But still this is a very personal question also. So if anybody who is in your circle is affected this kind of issues, you can email us. We also have some kind of supportive counseling network who work in this area. I can connect that person to that network. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. That means you want the people to, find
Right,
the,
email.
try
Yes,
to
yes,
overcome the other one. Yes.
yes,
So the third question, now how can we help old age people who are stressed and restless?
yes, yes. That's a very
This
good
is
question.
given by Shashi Sonal Sadwikar.
Excellent. So that's a very good. First of all, I congratulate you for asking such a sensitive question. Many times, whenever this kind of issues happen, elderly are neglected, children are neglected, the women are neglected. So you are sensitive enough to see their issues. See, one or two strategies I just wanted to tell that we should not exaggerate. Many news channels exaggerate informations. They won't tell the positive news. They will tell only
Yeah.
problem news. So please share the positive news also to elderly. Like example, a 95 years old person who is affected by COVID has recovered. A couple recovered. A person who was affected by diabetes and hypertension also recovered from after getting infected to COVID-19. Positive news you need to share. And also please understand, this has affected many elderly's routine. What is their routine? They do exercise, they go for walking, they go for visiting worship places. So their routine is affected. So for all of us, we are into job and we have some engagement, but the people who do not have such engagement, their routine affected. Their children, grandchildren might have stopped visiting them because of the current situation. So we need to help them to normalize their routine, and we need to help nurture their hope, help them to know the facts, not exaggerated informations. All those things will help. But still, if some people are affected by this COVID-19, if they have developed depression, definitely we need to help them with the professional help. Thank you, ma'am.
Shall we move on to the next question? How to manage children in this pandemic since they cannot go out, play, and they are, I think, in quarantine? This is again question given by Lipi Mandal.
Yes, I think
What
asking
strategies can be,
nice
can
questions. And actually I'm not the expert of child mental health. I'm an expert. I am working in the field of adult and the senior citizens field, but still I can try because we have been trained in child mental health.
Okay,
one
sir.
or two one or two suggestions which NIMHANS keeps giving is, yes, since they are at risk, so you need to ensure all safety for them, especially in play area and other places. If they are visiting, help them also to understand the proper safety measures, including hand washing. And you need to remind them in their excitement. Sometimes they may forget to take appropriate precautionary measures. But another thing is, inside house itself, you can help them to learn indoor games or help them to learn the family life skills. Like in a family, all people are expected to play certain roles. Children plus 9 plus 10 plus, they can start learning certain kind of helping skills, domestic skills. We can help them, so that will make give a kind of sense of growth for them. Yes, I started to help my mama in cooking, so that gives a pride for them. I have seen some people have prepared the biryani, and then they have shown in a YouTube video, like, with the help of a mother, a child prepares biryani. So a child will be not only learning cooking skills, child learns a lot of trust over the adult. Child start believing in family life, and child will be picking up a lot of problem solving. Child will be knowing a lot of details about family life. So these are wonderful exposure experience, wonderful time for family members to spend time together, to help each other and support, and also help them to engage a lot of creative tasks like painting, drawing, kind of molding kind of things, and picking up nowadays started the online training for even musical instruments. So help them to engage, and help also them to have chat with their friends over phone at least, because social skills also matters. Thank you, ma'am.
So we have one more question. How
Yes.
can we fight negative thoughts? This is given asked by Shruti.
Yes. I think negative thoughts can come because of two, three situations. One, if your personality, if a person has a kind of personality of being very anxious, being irritated, or in such situation, definitely because of our personality, even small things we feel big things, and then we start worrying. That is a can come through the personality. Second things, it can be secondary to certain kind of mental health problems, mild mental health problems, not major, like anxiety disorders and mild depression. So you may get a kind of hopelessness, helpless, and worthlessness thoughts. This kind of thoughts. How you can manage? So I just want to tell that if it is a part of illness, definitely you need to take care of yourself with the support of a medical care. But if it is not part of the illness, if it is situational, today I had a fight with my friend, I had a bad mood, or if it is because of personality also, then you can try few one or two things I just can tell you. Don't try to control your thoughts. The moment you try to control, you will get another negative thoughts which will be much more forceful, and then you will be getting a sequence of negative thoughts. For example, I had a fight with my colleague, so I get a negative thought. Okay, that fellow is very dangerous, he wants to harm me. Then I'm trying to control my thought. Don't think like that. You are going to aggravate the problem. The next thought will be, why we should not think? I should think, I should take action. That person is going to harm me, I have to settle the issue. So see here, the problems are aggravating by thinking, by trying to control the negative thoughts. But many times if you don't do anything such thoughts, it will just come and go. I usually tell the example of drainage water. If you try to block drainage water, it will get accumulated. It gets it gets very unpleasant. It gives unpleasant situation in that place. If it allows, let it come and let it go, that can be a good approach. But many times it is not feasible, and sometimes even you can distract yourself into some activities which you like. You also can share these thoughts with some of your friends who are very neutral, and who are not affected with the same thoughts. They all can support you. But still, if it is not getting if you're not getting relief out of that, then you need to take support.
So sorry, sir. One more question by Dhananjaya.
Yes, yes,
Now, online classes are going on.
yes,
Many are facing network issues and not
yes,
able to attend the class.
yes,
This generates tension in students. How
yes.
can they overcome this?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. If some of the people are not getting the network, I suppose that is it a school children or a kind of graduate students?
Graduates also it is same, sir.
Okay.
Even the school it is same,
I
because we
know.
too have got online classes. Yeah.
Yeah, both of you have classes.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
it's a real issue. Government is what trying to do certain things, steps. What I know that in the government of Kerala, what they have done it, they started to telecast this kind of things in the television. It is available in the television, so you can just go and watch the television programs. Like your classroom. So wherever internet network is not, that is done. But for us graduate and undergraduates or such students, or even for the primary schools, we can request the school management, can they record it and share the recorded classes. So even if you could not attend, if you can get
Yes,
access
sir.
to recorded classes, definitely whenever you have access, you can do it. Finally, learning is always an individual agenda. Nobody can teach us. Correct? No,
Yes, sir.
you have to learn by yourself. What Egalavia's world, we are from
Yeah.
India.
Yeah.
Egalavia was not under the Dronacharya, but he learned, he observed, he learned by himself. So a lot of self-learning, you can start doing it. It is very important in the, especially in medical profession like what we have. We need to learn ourselves, reading good books and referring good sources and attending good seminars and workshops. Yes, ma'am. Thank
So,
you.
so one more, sir. Sorry again.
Yes,
They have got n number of doubts, I think.
I know. Thank
This
you.
is by Stephen John, because
Yes,
sir, they are under stress, no? So you have to think of it.
yes,
Regulation of pressure for tasks to be accomplished surely is effective. Regulation in itself is difficult. What is your suggestion, sir?
Can you repeat that question, ma'am? Sorry,
Yeah, sir.
didn't get it first part of the question. Yeah.
Regulation of pressure for tasks to be accomplished
Okay. Yes.
surely is effective.
Yes.
Regulation in itself is difficult. What
Yes.
is your suggestion?
See, just my dear friend, I think I just wanted to tell the example of cycle balance. Okay, when you try to learn the cycle balance, initially we all will fall down multiple times. We get injury also, but over the period, it helps us. We will gain certain amount of balance. I have cycle balance for last 15 years, but still I can fall down because it depends on our concentration. It depends on the road condition. It depends on our own physical and mental health status. But still, if you can't handle yourself, definitely you need to reach out a person who can support. But regulating the pressure is very important because unrealistic, exposure to pressure is going to spoil your personal and relationship and your quality of life and your well-being. So try like a cycle balance, try to gain yourself. If you struggle further, definitely with the support of somebody who can understand you, who can help you, you can take their support. But I just want to tell that many people sometimes go to bar or some kind of drugs using places. They thought that such friends can help. No. For example, if your watch is not working, you cannot give to the scooter workshop to repair. You have to give the expert who can understand the functioning of watch and who can help that. Same way, if brain is affected with certain problem, if your behavior is affected or thinking or emotion is affected, you need to give you need to take suggestions who understand the functioning of that particular part of ourself. That's my suggestion now.
So thank you very much. Your self-care matters, the topics have been appreciated by almost all the participants. I really am very thankful, and even the participants are really thankful to you. Thank you very much, sir, for you. You have
Thank
taken a
you.
trouble to be with us.
No, ma'am. It is my pleasure and it's my privilege.
Mm.
As I told that Mangalore is the starting point for me. Okay, so it's both my children have born in Mangalore, father Mullahs. So a lot of emotional attachment to Mangalore.
Mangalore, Mangalore.
Yes. So I am father Mullahs hospital only. My both children born. So I have a lot of connection with Mangalore. I'm very happy for the to be with you for this 1.5 hours or 2 hours time. I thank the management, the principal, the principal Professor Mary Elizabeth Pinto, and the moderators, Dean, and especially my beloved friend Ajit sir, so who connected and who helped me to be with you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful life ahead.
So really, we are, very much appreciating your self-care matters. We have really learned. And nurses, usually we have been, pushed down like by the medical professionals. I think the participants can definitely, from today onwards, they should know what is self-care, how to cope up their emotional stress and all this. So you are really, thank you very much, sir, for
Thank you,
having
ma'am.
with us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I
Thank
will
you, sir.
leave the session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I accept all thanks which have been shared by participants in chat.
Yeah, they really
So,
appreciated your talk, and definitely they will be,
I'm happy and thank all of them for
yeah,
putting efforts to attend as well as share their good words about the session.
yeah.
If you can share this chat history with me,
We,
so it will be a kind of boost for me also to know myself better. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure. I will share the chat history. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you for the person who operated entire system for us, the Zoom communication. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Participants, tomorrow the sessions will start at sharp at 11. The topic is epidemiological aspects on COVID-19 by Dr. Mohammad Ashil. He's an executive director, Social Security Mission, Government of Kerala. Thank you all very much. See you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Thank you all.